Heyo, hey. Today is bound to be glorious. Yo, how is everyone doing this fine Thursday? Yes, we're here for some more Umineko. Okay, there we go. Get the chat up. Yup. Indeedio. Let me actually get my headphones on. It'd be great to hear it. Man, how is everyone's day going? My door's closed, right? Good. My door's closed. Don't want no one peeping in on me. Let's get this going. Load. Don't want to start an episode over again. Man. Okay, actually, load. Let me make sure it's like showing up. I should. Okay, good. Showing me. Nice. Nice. Ice. Which one am I at? Oh yeah, November. Yeah. High protein fettuccine Alfredo. Dang, yo, that sounds tasty. Okay, let me know if the volume's too loud or too quiet, by the way. That sounds tasty, man. After this, I'm about to eat some food. Yo, Beatrice in my house waiting for me. I invite her. Let me chill. Yo, I don't know why. I do get paranoid though whenever I start streaming. I don't know. Probably I have my headphones on. I just looking back, it's just like, geez. Ready for the OST? Yup, this soundtrack about to be solid. Okay. Oh, this one. My volume's at like 40. Actually, I'll keep it there. Mm-hmm. Just right? Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'll keep it at, make sure, mental note, just keep it at that range then. Battler was surprised that he yelled obnoxiously and scattered his cards everywhere. Yo, Battler losing the game? Yo, Sage over here trying to scare me. Actually, fun story. Just not even fun story. A painful story, actually. A few nights ago, it was actually at nighttime too. I went to get some water because I was like thirsty at night. I get thirsty at night and stuff. So then I went downstairs to get some water. But before I did, I almost bumped into my heater on the floor. And it started making like crackling sounds. Like, whoa, what the heck? And I was like, oh, it's my heater. Let me make sure I don't bump into it again when I come back upstairs. I forgot about it. And when I came back upstairs, I bumped into it and my foot hurt like heck. My toe was like hurting. I was like, ah. And I was like, okay, it's fine. You know, I just get over it. But it hurt more than usual. I woke up the next morning. 3 of my toes, it was covered in blood. Apparently, I got like a small cut on my toe, basically. And it just bled a bunch. If I checked it at night before then, that probably could have been prevented. But yeah, painful story. It's, man, what's the lesson in that? Check something if something's not feeling good, man. Yeah, but we share course. Okay. Mm-hmm. George couldn't be seen anywhere in the room. A short while ago, when Shannon came into the room, George suddenly said that he'd forgotten something in the mansion and needed to get back and get it. Shannon said she would guide him, just like she had on her way to the guest house, and the two of them departed together. Yo! George and Shannon, what are they doing? Man, I'm too hyped today. I'm too hyper. I need to chill out. Well, there's actually been signs of it for a while. Uh-huh. Overly nice to Shannon. Now you get it, yeah, connecting the dots, yo. Together alone in this big old mansion. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, almost knocked out my stuff. Man. Jeez, this is good. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I like to mix my juices. Like, have you had like... Okay. Oh, he's trying to get a romantic atmosphere. He says, yo, we're sitting out here in this, what, veranda? What is this? And he's like, yo, the sound of the rain trickling on the ceiling. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, but it's also a typhoon. Mm-hmm. Dang, yup. Be sucking for an extra day. Yo, facts. Yo, Battle over there being a perv in the beginning, and George didn't say nothing. Typhoon becoming beforehand, yep. Plan ahead in the schedule. So you knew this typhoon was coming, and you were thinking, "Oh, Shannon's there. Let's get everyone so they guess." Okay, let me. I'm thinking too much into this. I don't need to. George puffed out his chest, acting proud. He's trying to show off too. Yo, this dude George, man. Compared to the calm appearance George always has had the oldest cousin, he now looked amusingly like a little kid. Okay, so he also feels like he could act like himself around Shannon too. Okay, that's nice. Shannon chuckled at this abrupt contrast. Hey, you hear the music? Playing into this atmosphere. Ooh, what else is important? Okay. Okay. Toya Hideyoshi. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, Hideyoshi, yep. Dang, he brought her out here for a history lesson. Hey, maybe she likes that. Maybe he's into knowledge. Yeah. Information. Hmm. Okay, interesting. You know, historical Japan, like, past stuff is stuff that I would like to actually get more informative on, too. Like, I feel like I've only seen some stuff through, like, anime and stuff, but... You know, it's usually, like, historical fiction, or even just characters and nothing, like, completely related, but... And so on. Shoots brought down. I wonder if this also has some relation to, like, every time I hear one of these characters talking about something, I'm just like, how does this also relate to the overall setting that we're in and everything? But he's only talking about a person with an illness and all that stuff, and the first to rush. Okay. I think of the grandfather Kinzo. But then again, he's probably just talking about this in relation to, like, work and stuff. Truth it was, Shannon had already heard the story several years ago. But whenever a discussion of his father led to this sort of topic, George would always glow and look like he was having a great time. So Shannon just smiled without interrupting, urging him to continue. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
大勢の部下に支えられ、その力を借りて初めて成立するものなんだよ。
Mm-hmm.
それを理解してから父さんの背中を見ると、自分が
How immature you are. Interesting.
父さんがどれほどの切磋琢磨をして、
So, okay. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure he's also aware of his father's situation too. So, yeah, also how much he looks up to him and stuff. So, interesting.
あ、ごめん。別にそういう意味で言ったんじゃないんだ。
Yo, please, George. He's so knowledgeable. Mm-hmm. The two of them awkwardly looked at their feet. Shannon had no parents. Okay, interesting. She had been brought up in an orphanage owned by Kinzo called the Fuku. Oh, so Kinzo owns an orphanage? Okay, yo, nice. Is it a nice orphanage? Under the guidance of Kinzo, their honorary director, the orphanage offered members who excelled a chance for on-the-job serving experience. Okay, interesting. If their efforts met with Kinzo's approval, they'd be able to leave the orphanage and work as servants for the Ushiromiya family. Okay, what if they didn't? This was considered to be the highest honor for those who lived in the orphanage. Servants from the Fukuin house all took names with the character An in them while they served. Okay, interesting. Yo, Jordan. Yo. Help UFO table out, George. Man. Huh, yeah. Yeah, it actually is interesting. You know, that's like one of the other things, like, I've heard about Kinzo more so, other than the fact that he got this inheritance from some magic or witch and all this gold. But, so Shan wasn't her real name. The same went for Ken, yeah. All the members of the Fukuin house were orphans. At least, they were all people who had been separated from their parents under special circumstances. Man, I want to read it so fast. I wonder if we're going to meet more of the orphans down the road. I think we will, most likely. Because of this, orphans had been taught to think each other as their only family. Okay, that's nice. That's why it seemed so natural to both of them when Cannon called Shannon his sister. Ah, okay, I get it. And while both Shannon and Cannon were working in the mansion today, there were several other servants possessing the An character in their names, such as Manon and Lennon, who often worked in the rotation schedule. Okay, so we're going to meet Manon and Lennon, or Manon or Lennon, Man and Lennon. However, there were not many servants who stayed with the Ushiromiya family long. Okay, so they eventually moved on for it. Okay. You speed that up text a bit. I think you press numbers, I think. Really? I could press numbers to... Okay. Okay, I'll try with the next one that pops up. Wait. Oh, okay, it is going by fast. Thank you for that. Yeah, but that's like, yo, I'm reading... Okay, let me slow down a little bit. I can't read it that fast. Working for a full 3 years would earn more than what was needed to enter mainstream society. That was why, even though the orphans realized what a harsh task working for the Ushiromiya family was, they still hoped to be accepted. Okay, interesting. So that's okay. That answers my other question. Maybe the fact that Shannon managed to continue working for the 10 years wasn't because she had more willpower than the other servants. She wanted to see George. Maybe she had gotten stuck working for 10 years because she didn't have the courage to say she wanted to quit. Oh, there you go too. Oh man, it's gonna be the best. Oh snap. Kinzo couldn't even trust his own blood relatives, and those excellent servants sent from the Fukuin household were the only ones he could rely on. Okay. Because of that, Kinzo would sometimes allow them to wear the family crest as servants under his direct control and have them work close to him. Yeah, that's like half her life because she's how old is she? Like 18, right? Hey, hold up. Does it say her age on this page? Yeah. Okay, it doesn't say her age.
だいぶ
I'm just assuming that's the case. Mr. State of Lama.
どうでしょう。別に私買いたいものも特にありませんし、ほんの何百円かあったってそれで残りの人生を過ごせる。
A few million yen isn't enough to live off for the rest of your life. A few million yen, she says.
目標価格があってお勤めを続けてるわけじゃないのかい?
Yo, not so you can't wear them. Yo, that is messed up. Oh wait, hold up. Let me just change that. Okay, there we go. My thing wasn't recording. Okay. That is messed up though. These servants who, dang. And she doesn't even get to have that on. I feel like throughout this whole playthrough, or just gameplay, but that Natsuhi has been, it's just been getting more and more. I've been feeling more and more bad for Natsuhi. Like, at first I was like, yo, why is she acting like a jerk? And I was like, oh, this is why. Man. Like all that stress and frustration. After last week, to think that your own husband doesn't even... That's messed up. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Oh, okay, so her actual name is Sayo-chan. Ah, how'd she respond? Oh, blushing? Okay. Shannon cast her eyes downward when she heard her real name. She understood what George was trying to say and fell silent. Hmm? Okay, what's that? Anonymous or short? Yeah, true. Man. All school-aged kids have a certain fears they can't shake. They wonder whether they'll live the rest of their lives like sleepy classes after a monotonous and boring school day. Hey, welcome to the stream, Angel. However, life's only like that for underage students. Compared to humans' life, the time they spend as students is nothing more than a blink of an eye, a period where they break through the shells of their immaturity. Yeah. The inside of the shells might be a hot, suffocating, boring world, but the world beyond that shell is vast and filled with limitless possibilities. True. There's a lot you could do in the world. Oh, that's true. Dang. Shannon couldn't deny those words. She'd been unable to harbor any clear doubts about her lifestyle. And since she never had any hopes or goals for changing herself, she lazily continued living the way she always had. And if she asked whether this life was satisfying, she wouldn't have been able to nod. She may have been intentionally averting her eyes from the truth. Without George's what am I struggling with? Without George's admonishments, she would have continued pretending not to notice her real life slipped away bit by bit, neglected. I mean, if you're happy with it, then continue. But he's saying that, hey, you have the option to do more than just this. And not to get used to that constant lifestyle, to not neglect the possibility of doing more. Oh. Oh. Rules. George immediately gave a strict answer, then broke out to a mischievous smile. Huh. Shannon already knew what she was being chided for, and she hung her head again, apparently embarrassed. Oh.
則では聞けません。ですが、ご命令でしたら聞かないわけにはいきません。
Okay.
私は家具ですから。
Oh, there we go with this furniture talk, man.
じゃあ命令だよ。
Okay.
はい、かしこまりました、ジョージさん。
Okay, that's nice. As Shannon hung her head, her face red, she said George's name again, and this time following it with a san.
それでいいよ、さよちゃん。
Okay, it's like a little cute scene. George smiled at Shannon, no, Sayo, to praise her small act of bravery. This short exchange alone made it clear how far back the relationship must have stretched. For a long while, the two talked as if the weather raging about them didn't even enter their thoughts. They talked about the many memories they built during their relationship that no one else knew about. Every once in a while, a flash of lightning would attempt to interrupt him, but this could sully neither the roses nor the time they spent blushing at each other. Okay. Okay. Oh, what's up?
君に見せたいものがあって。
Oh, watch he pops out a ring? Nah. George who had been speaking eloquently, suddenly started to stutter. Watching him, Shannon seemed to guess something. George timidly searched through his pocket. Yo, I was playing around. Something got caught in the depths of the pockets, and just like the southern George, it took a while to get out. I was just playing around. It was whoa, for real? Oh, I was joking. A small box covered in a deep blue velvet. That particular shape was enough to tell anyone what was resting inside. Whoa. That's the Rockism. Shannon had prepared her heart somewhat, certain beforehand that this was what he had been planning. Dang. So this is why, okay. But even so, when she actually saw it, she couldn't avoid blushing once more. In short, that's what the scene could be. Or is. George opened the small box with something on and held it out for Shannon to take.
これを君に受け取ってほしいんだ。
Yo!
このような高価なものは
Yes, you can.
受け取れない。
Oh! Yeah, oh?
いえ、こんなもの私には
Oh! But he chose you! Okay, let me calm down.
さよ、これはお願いじゃない。
Ooh, this is a request, huh? Ooh.
この指輪を受け取って。
Ooh. Dang. He said take it. Yeah, because knowing her personality, she's okay.
従わなくてはなりません。
Dude, this soundtrack killing it right now. You were right. Man. Shannon, not wanting to show her bright face, timidly accepted the ring from George's hand, while still staring at the ground. That ring wasn't a simple accessory. It was a noble object, meant since ancient times to be offered to a special woman under special circumstances. Therefore, while George could order her to take it, he could not order anything beyond that. Anything beyond that would depend, not on an order, but on Shannon's no, Sayo's own will.
だから、ここからはもう命令じゃない。
Ooh.
さよ、明日までに言葉でない形。
Tomorrow? I want the answer now, man.
わかるね。
どうすれば
How should I?
これ以上
Oh!
は命令じゃないから。
He's saying, yo, she's gonna have to.
君に命令はしない。
Okay.
指輪は指にするものだからね。
Hmm?
気に入ってくれたなら、好きな指につけてくれればいい。
Shannon had only pretended not to know. She already understood what he wanted her to do. but she was standing at a huge crossroads of her life. Huh.
もうこんな時間だね。今夜はこれくらいにしよう。
Oh, okay. George turned away from Shannon, acting in just a bit bluntly.
君に左手につけてほしいと命令することもできるかもしれない。
Yo, this is so smooth.
命令されればそれに従えるという臆病な甘えがあるかもしれない。でも最後のここだけは。
Okay, yeah, he wants her to make the final choice on her own will. Yo, respect.
わかるね。だからそれが命令。今
Okay,
夜よく考えて。
okay. Nice way to put it.
その返事を見せてほしい。
Shannon nodded back. Today was the culmination of their many days spent together. This moment certainly hadn't come to as a surprise to Shannon. I mean, she was expecting this would happen one day.
これ以上遅いと。
No pressure. You know, it's just choosing whether or not, you know, how you want to spend your life with me or not, so. Or you could stay here and work as a maid and stuff for the rest of your life.
すみません。そのお屋敷に用を思い出しまして。
Haha. He just remembered, okay.
お屋敷へ行かねばなりません。
And he had to go too, but.
こんな時間に本当かな。
George stared into Shannon's face as he laughed mischievously. He definitely saw through Shannon's lie. However, when he saw how she felt, he could sort of understand that she might be so embarrassed that she'd want to be alone. So because George realized the meaning behind Shannon's lie, he accepted it. Yo! Starting this episode off like this? Man, if she actually said something right there, I would have been so hype. Y'all would have seen me so hype just now. Why they had it like kill my like energy right there with that. That was okay. So it's 11 o'clock p.m. Man, yeah, but I would have been so hype if she actually said they had the music playing. They had their words and voice acting going on. Man, they had me like I was there. Okay, Shannon entered the entrance hall to the mansion with a tottering gate. Gate? I've never seen that word in my life. I know it, I have an idea what it means, but a mixture of exhalation and certainty gave her a feeling that she couldn't possibly describe. It swelled up in her chest until she felt like she was about to burst. He brought the desk and opened the door. Yeah. Inside, Goda, who had been ordered to take the midnight shift at the mansion tonight, was absorbed in a worn-out crossword puzzle magazine. He looked up for an instant to see if one of the family had come, but then when he realized that it was a fellow servant, he returned to his puzzle as if nothing had happened. Okay. About to heat up? Oh.
源氏様より郷田さんのお手伝いにつくように言われてまいりました。
Yep.
ああ、そうです。
Oh, Goda.
それは助かります。
I don't know how I feel about this dude still.
そろそろ戸締まりの見回りに行きたかったのですが。
I'm still mad about that scene in the bush garden, in the rose garden, I mean, with Cannon. Yo, that was... I'm still not cool with Goda after that, man.
何しろ、旦那様方の会合はまだだいぶ続きそうですからね。いつ何時お茶のご用命があるかもわかりませんし。
It's too pure for this world. I mean, I know he has good intentions and all, so...
そうですよね。では、どうしましょうか。私が留守番を。
ではシャノンさん、申し訳ありませんが、お屋敷内の
Patrol the mansion. Okay,
私
interesting.
はここで親族の皆さんのご用命の待機をしておりますので。
はい。
Why they gotta patrol the mansion? Like, Goda's the homie? Okay. Shannon was slightly disgusted. Oh. Even though she'd come over here to help out as a favor, she was casually being forced to do the job of the person actually on duty. Ooh. Furthermore, after one-sidedly forcing that task on her, Goda returned to his magazine once again and became immersed in his crossword puzzle. I don't know if that's like... Okay. Shannon bowed her head as a token sign of respect for her elder, and then left the room to patrol the mansion. Thanks to her being a bit ticked off, she managed to suppress that floaty feeling she had been having just until now. Well, with that said, I think she's going to take up George's request. Yo, is someone crying in the background? What's that sound? Yeah, there's a sound in the back. Yo, that's kind of creeping me out. She wanted a little time to someone to her. Yeah. What was that sound? She began to hear the tumulated voices of the family discussion coming from the dining hall. Someone was speaking at great length, only to be interrupted by someone else. The second person also began to speak in a very drawn-out fashion, until yet another person interrupted. Oh, who's these? That kept on repeating. It was as though their displeasure was seeping out through their voices. She had been told to go to the guest house, so it would be bad if Cross discovered her. Thinking this, Shannon dashed past the dining hall. Then she went along a prearranged route through the dark mansion, checking that all the locks were secure. Okay. The Seagulls? Oh. Yo, that really had me like creeped out. I was like, yo, who the heck is... What's that sound? Okay. She walked down the hall, checking his window. Yeah, because it's as the Seagulls. Yeah, man, yo, that really had me creeped out. There were no humans on Rokkenjima, other than those connected to the family. So locking up didn't really serve much of a purpose. No one had been... Man, why did I get hiccups all of a sudden? No one had been in the habit of locking up the Ushiromiya head family, at least not until Natsuki had scolded them for being careless. Oh, okay. She said, yo, I ain't letting no one, not even ghosts, enter this house. But Natsuki, ghosts could go through walls. I don't care. Lock the doors. Okay, the metal fixtures on the windows were ice cold, and as she checked through them one by one, the glow on her head seemed to cool down. Okay. What do you see? Oh, what's that? I know it was butterflies. What was? At that time, she thought she saw something twinkling across the hall. A ghost. How could anything be twinkling through the darkness of the hall? Sup? Hey, what's up, Sayonara? Thanks for joining the stream. She figured she must have been imagining it, but she still held her breath. Yep. Grasping a curtain, she fearfully gazed down the hall. However, other than the occasional cracking of thunder brightening the hallway, she was able to get to glimpse any flicker again. It must have been her imagination after all. Maybe her heart was so agitated that she'd seen something that didn't exist. I see a glow in the middle of the night? Down the hall? Shannon went back to checking the windows. However, a certain unnerving memory was resurrected from the back of her mind. What was that? It was that ghost story, which had been passed down among the servants who served the Ushiromiya, the family, head family. The mansion had two different masters, one in the day and one in the night. Beatrice, the master of the night, would sometimes fly around the mansion in the form of sparkling butterflies. Interesting. That was the story. Come to think of it, didn't Cannon once say he'd seen it with his own eyes? Though he got sulky when I said he must have imagined and fused, and that seems like his response. Could it possibly be true? The roaring of the thunder gave no answer. Nah, thanks for joining still, even if you're lurking. So the lights get in the mood? Yo, chill. I think it'd be too dark in here, though. I mean, I just have my monitor, but... Oh, yeah, true. That would also be bad, yeah. If my room wasn't that dark. Then again. Oh! If she gets out the mirror... picture? Painting? Art? Do I have to press something? No, okay. Okay. Beatrice. It's now midnight. Yep, all the talking, arguing. Okay, we're seeing where everyone's at. Furniture. Okay. Hey, what's her name? Chio or something? Yeah, forget the doctor's there too. I can't forget about him as a character. Interesting how they showed everyone but Maria. I mean, I know she's asleep right now, but yeah, she's just asleep. That's all there is to it. Oh, I got an achievement? Hey! Midnight, yep. Furniture's Karate King. Yo, dude be like this all the time. Okay, 6 a.m. now. Yo, this signs make me unnerved. Okay, second day. Okay. October 5th, 1986. Do I have to click something? No, it's going to do it for me. Thank you. Genji tightened. Okay, so now we're on the next day. Be comfortable. Genji tightened his bow tie and looked outside through a crack in the curtains. Maybe yo, peeking if there's neighbors, peeking out the blinds at your neighbors. Nah, there's no one else here though. Maybe the rain had died down a tiny bit since the previous night. But the thick rain clouds didn't seem like they'd been letting any trace of the morning sun get by. The morning was dim and far from refreshing. Rain all day. What's up? Cannon finished checking his appearance and exited the washroom. Yo, dude, put your arm down. On the normal schedule, it was rare for anyone to have to suffer going straight from the midnight shift to the early morning shift. Dang, that's rough. They were on a special schedule for 2 days of the family conference. However, unless the typhoon passed today, the relatives stayed on this island would last until tomorrow. Cannon thought it'd be best to prepare for the special schedule to last an extra day. The two of them left the guest house, opening their umbrellas. The rose garden had been devastated by the wind and the rain on the previous nights. Dang, it's going to suck after we fix that. But then again, so it has to be October. Or it is October. Yeah, it's October for them. So leaves and stuff it's fall. Came inside. The two headed for the mansion. They were supposed to meet with Goda and prepare breakfast. Goda was such a perfectionist that he had probably already woken up and was probably ready preparing breakfast as exquisite and elegant as glasswork. I bet that food Goda makes is real good though. They reached up the overhang by the entrance to the mansion and folded up their umbrellas. Genji took a bundle of several keys out from his pocket and unlocked the front door. Yeah, all the doors are locked. The Ushiromiya family mansion was the only thing on Rokkenjima, so in the past they had been in the habit of locking up. However, Natsume had ordered that the mansion be locked up from midnight to early morning. Wonder what that reason was. She was actually believing that Beatrice might be... Well, actually, if she saw that the gold was real, I believe that the witch is real. Or this Beatrice person is real. Makes sense. This task had been given to Genji and Kanon so that Goda could start preparing breakfast as soon as he woke up. What the heck is that? Silence had fallen the mansion, giving the impression that the mansion itself was still like particles falling from. Okay. The two of them split up and began opening the curtains throughout the mansion. If the curtains stayed closed, the mansion would remain enveloped in faint darkness, as though it was still trapped in. Okay, dang, those are some thick curtains then. Following a well-rehearsed procedure, Kane went around the mansion, opening the curtains for one window after another without having to retrace his steps once. Even with this horrible weather, drawing the curtains made it feel just a little bit like morning. Yeah. Show that it's actually daytime. While doing that, he passed in front of the kitchen. Even though he hadn't smelled anything yet, his stomach started aching for something to go. Yo, stop talking about food, making me hungry again. Ohio. Is everything good? He tried to greet Goda, who should have been getting breakfast ready, but Goda was nowhere to be seen. Yo, is Goda good? The kitchen was darkly lit, and not only were the curtains not open, but the fan wasn't even running. It was still cold without a trace of fire being lit, so of course there was no sign of breakfast being made either. That's not like Goda. Though it would have been inexcusable, perhaps Goda had overslept. Even servants are only human. Yeah, true. Are only human? No, they're furniture. What are you talking about, only human? They sometimes sleep in and show up late. Who's our narrator? In the rare case that such a thing happens, this part of a servant's code to hide the unsightly scene before anyone notices. Smoothly cover it up. And make sure the family never realizes that anything has gone wrong. Cannon took the receiver of the phone that had been fitted to the wall and dialed the number for the extension line to the servant's sleep room. Oh yeah, he was doing those crossword puzzles. That's true. He couldn't hear the characteristic sound of a dial tone. What? The power's out? The phone line's not working? But even so, he couldn't hear the usual dial tone. He tried dialing again, but had no apparent effect. Could the lightning last light have damaged the machine, breaking the extension line? Possibly. Equipment of the mansion was all worn out. Cannon fully understood that even the smallest thing could have caused it to break. Makes sense. He gave up trying to wake Goda with the phone and dashed over to the servant's sleeping room. Well, if he's not there, then where would he be? I guess we'll see. That all rhymed? Yo, wait, hold up. Rewind. Rudolph mentioned that he thinks he's about to be killed that night. I need to see how Rudolph's doing. I gotta see how Rudolph's doing. How long has it been since I stopped sleeping and started lazily staring up at the ceiling? That vague sense of awakening was probably not so his usual morning experience. She'd always sleep lightly, and she couldn't sleep at all without medicine. Is she in the same bedroom as Cross? Because that's kind of awkward. After everything that went down. To not sleep was definitely not a happy thing. When she looked outside, she saw that it was still pouring. If she hadn't sensed a tiny bit of amount of light, she might have mistakenly thought that it was still the previous night. She herself was one of the hosts, so she mustn't awake up later than her guests. Urging herself on, she raised up her body, which hadn't been completely recovered from yesterday's weariness. No one would torment her as long as she remained inside this room, and her headache wouldn't get any worse here. Grabbing some daisies. So when she left, it meant returning to the world where her husband's siblings kept trying to stab each other up. In that case, wouldn't it be better to just stay locked up in this room forever? Yeah, true. That ridiculous notion brought a bitter smile to Natsuki's face. Dang. She was starting to sound like Kinzo. That means you understand the dude. You understand why he's the way he is. He don't want to be around those toxic children of his. Bickering with each other for money. I mean, we know the reasons, but though she often complained about Kinzo staying locked up in his own room, refusing to tend to everyone, the truth was that she longed to do the same. Natsuki gave her head a small shake, and her fantasy was replaced by the reawakening of her usual headache. Dang, that's unfortunate. When she reached for the doorknob, trying to leave the room, her hand touched the scorpion charm that she had hung from it before, going to sleep the previous night. It was Maria's charm, which Natsuki received from Jessica. That's nice. Didn't Jessica say something about having the power to repel magic, telling her to hang it from her doorknob? Maybe it was thanks to the charm that at least this room had been protected from the malice of her husband's siblings. As she thought this, her mood began to get a little bit more cheerful. I wasn't expecting her to start speaking right there. That kind of scared me. Then Natsuki remembered. That's right, last night I promised Jessica I'd give her the charm of my own in exchange for this one, didn't I? Natsuki opened up the jar in her undresser and took out an antique accessory case that she had treasured when she was a child. Treasured. Man, what did I say? Inside, there were many small objects that Natsuki had thought were valuable at the time. From amidst those, she'd pulled out a red pouch. Inside, a small round mirror around 10 centimeters across. It looked quite old, but the design on the back of the mirror was very ornate, and it felt like something with historical value. At the very least, it seemed much more authentic than the other charm, which looked like a plastic scorpion hand keychain. She had heard that this was a spiritual mirror for warding off evil spirits, and she had been given this especially by her grandmother when her grandfather's mementos had been distributed. Okay. It had been believed since long ago that a strange power resided in this mirror. Okay, something for the future. Okay. Perhaps people thought it could reflect calamity and malice in the same way it reflected the light. Natsuki returned the mirror to its pouch. So it would probably be a fitting object to hand over to Jessica. Just as she was placing it in her pockets, the sound of someone knocking on the door suddenly echoed throughout the room.
Hi.
My gosh, yo. Yo, someone was opening up a door in the background and outside my room. Yo, that scared me. The same timing as this. Dang. Genji, okay. Okay, what's up? No servant has ever come to her this early in the morning, nor had they come to wake her in person. Perhaps something bad had happened. Maybe some fatal oversight had been made while preparing breakfast, something that would shame the household in front of their guests. Natsuki took a deep breath in, anticipated for whatever trouble she was about to hear of. Yep, whatever could it be? When she opened up the door, 4D read. Yo, it was the same time as he was. Yo, that was so had me like, man. When she opened up the door, Genji once again gave her morning greet while bowing deeply. Yo, let me turn my volume a bit up more. I'm getting really immersed today. Natsuki tentatively responded. Oh, hi-yo. Yeah, what's up? Yep, the telephones. Okay. Excuse me. Indeed. Is it? You're a technician? Yeah, an actual person. Yeah, I was like, yo, Genji, like, jack of all trades? What do you think I just said? Exactly. I don't know. That's for you to measure. Yeah, but they do what they can, you know? Natsuki let out a small sigh of relief. I mean, she's probably stressing, thinking about worst case scenario. Oh, calm down, you know, take a deep breath in and out, and, you know, prepare for the worst, but the damage to the phone wasn't the kind of trouble she was worried about. Yeah, she was expecting something else worse to have happened, but yeah, I'd rather have the telephone than something else. Then again, even this would probably be enough to spark sarcasm from Ava. I know, Ava over here. And then they were non-violent. Natsu gave her head a slight shake. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's going on? Mm-hmm. Goda missing. Eat. How's she gonna respond? Oh boy. Natsu was indignant. To her, this was a much bigger problem than the phone's not working. You were like, I have good news and bad news, but I'm not going to say it like that. I'm just going to say some stuff and then, And in spite of that, the piece of information that had been postponed. Why did everything go well most of the time and then come to something like this when the relatives were visiting? I know the timing of things. Murphy's Law. Natsu put her hand to her forehead and shook her head. What's that banging? I don't care who? Yeah. Natsu exited into the hall and turned around for a second to close the door to her room. The creepy thing she saw there silenced their... What did she see? It was an unpleasant sight, as though someone had dipped their fingers in a reddish black liquid and scratched all the door at the door around the doorknob. Yo, that's creepy. Oh, that's a novel? Okay, I gotta check that out then. Let me take a picture of that right there so I don't forget. Yo, I was like checking out different novels. It was probably some sort of awful prank. Yo, I wake up at my door and I see my doorknobs. Oh man. That is creepy. That sound too was eerie. Mm-hmm. My wire. Perhaps. Possibly. Really? Okay, interesting. It's similar and real. Okay. I gotta check that out in the future. Always like novels like that. Who in the world would pull off such a childish and disgusting prank? Then again, I just love mysteries. Natsu had a pretty good idea, but of course there was no proof. So even if she pushed the issue, it would just seem... Why do I keep moving forward to read? As soon as she made a fuss about nothing. In fact, it would surely be better to act as though she hadn't realized it was such a prank had been played on her. Natsu gave the... Wait, was it just on her knob, or was it on all the doorknobs? Natsu gave the order to have it cleaned and head off to the parlor with the squeak of her heels. As you'll be spoiled? Yeah, okay. When Natsu and Genji arrived to the parlor, Ava and Hideyoshi were already there. Okay. Good morning. Or Ohio. Minasa. Minasa? Okay. That means everyone? Ohio gozaimasu. Minasa? Okay. Plans have changed, unfortunately. This dude Hideyoshi, man. Dang. Yo, why Ava like this? Yeah, deflect it. Yep. With a rare expression, Natsu returned Ava's gaze, which was fiercely competitive despite the early morning. It's too early for this. Then Kanon jogged in. Did you jog in like this? Yo. After bowing an apology to the relatives for running inside the mansion, he noticed Genji had told him something in a small voice.
カノン、ゴーダはまだ見つからないのですか？
申し訳ございません、奥様。お屋敷内もゲストハウスも回ったのですが。
Goda's gone.
まだ。
一体どこへ行ったというのです。
Facts.
とりあえず
He go fishing?
ゴーダより朝食の準備が先決です。
Yo.
至急対応しなさい。
はい。
Yo. Cannon glanced at Genji. It seemed he had something else to report, but it was uncertain whether or not the words should come from him. Genji nodded and decided to give the report himself. Okay. Oh boy, who else is missing? Cross? Oh, I didn't expect to hear that.
主人が？
Yeah. Where is he and Goda at? More people are missing? If it's all the other sibling, if it's all like the other siblings, that's about to be crazy. Wait, no, because Rudolph, his wife, and Rosa are also nowhere to be found. Because, okay. I'm trying to like piece together the thing. It's not all the siblings though, because Ava's there, along with Hideyoshi. Not in the guest house? So, wait, hold up. Goda, Cross, Rudolph, Kiri, and Rosa are all missing. Okay. When she heard that Goda alone was missing, she assumed he had slept in or was loafing around somewhere. However, now that she'd learned that several of the other relatives were also nowhere to be seen, she began to take a slightly more optimistic view. Could last night's family conference have continued all night up until the present moment? If so, they might have wanted to cool their heads after being shut in a stuffy room, going out for walks on their own through the rain. During a typhoon? The part about cooling their heads really sounded like something Cross would say. Goda had probably been summoned to accompany them and aid them in some way. Possibly, Goda was not a man who lost track of time. He had understood that, he would have known that, and I'm pretty sure he would want to do that. However, maybe the family conference had continued until this very moment, with an atmosphere that would make it hard for anyone to slip out. Yes, that theory would be quite convincing for Natsuhi. She remembered the illusion she'd felt that morning, as though the previous night had never ended. When she learned that the feelings wasn't just an illusion, she once again took a deep, weary breath. After all, that banquet of filthy vultures circling Kinzo's property was still going on. What? She had planned to say it in a small voice, but Hideyoshi overheard Natsu and managed to grasp the situation. I know he's over here. Why do you say it like that? Yo, why do you sound like that when you said that? Hmm?
夕べの24時過ぎにはもう眠くてベッドに戻らせてもらったんだけど、確かにあの時点でもまだ兄さんたちは熱論を交わしてたわ。
Okay.
男って熱くなると嫌ね。
What? Natsu snorted, her face still blank. Natsu is so done with Ava. Yo, are we going to get a fight down the road? Natsu versus Ava. I think Ava would get the upper hand, maybe. I could be wrong though. You never know with people when they're angry. Mm-hmm.
夏日姉さん、表とは限らないわよ。お父様の書斎ってことはないかしら?
That's a possibility, but you really think Kinzo would let them into his study? Yo, is Kinzo still good? Is he alive? Where's the doctor at too? I have to know where everyone's at right now. Yo. Well, I guess I would assume they're all inside the mansion too. Otherwise, I would say those other people are missing. So.
そのような汚らわしい話題を好んで、お父様が書斎へ招き入れることなど考えられません。
あらそう。
Yeah, he didn't even want you in there. He didn't even come down for dinner or the afternoon lunch. And you think he really let them in there? That makes no sense at all.
じゃあ仕方ないわね。源氏さんとカノン君は申し訳ないけど、外を探してきてちょうだい。確かに兄さんなら、頭を冷やすために外を散歩しようなんて言い出しても不思議はないわ。たとえこんな天気。私はお父様の書斎に行ってくるわ。
She really wants to get into that study. Yo, I saw that. As she said, yo, you two go outside. I'll go to the study. You think he's gonna let you in?
ひょっとするとそこにいるかもしれないしね。
客人であるエヴァさんにそこまでのご足労はおかけできません。私が行ってきます。朝のご挨拶も兼ねて。
Mm-hmm.
あら、じゃあお願いするわね。
It gets as constant, yup.
でも、朝の挨拶を交わしてくれるかは疑わしいわね。
I doubt he'll return your green. You think he's gonna return your green? Man, she's getting me so heated for no reason.
夏日姉さんってお父様とは仲よろしかったかしら？
Yo.
仲が良いかは分かりかねますが、後宮家の跡継ぎの妻を許されるだけの信頼を得ていると確信しています。
I know, right? Ava's just like, I'm in charge now. Like, what the heck?
きっと返事くらいはしてくれるわね。お父様とは朝食くらいご一緒したいの。ぜひ降りてきてくださるよう説得してくれないかしら？私たちはすっかり嫌われちゃってるみたいだけど、そこまで信頼を得て夏日姉さんの言うことなら聞いてくれそうですもの。
Yeah, yo, the voice actress is doing their job. Like, she's she's really nailing the emotion she wants the viewers to feel, and how she's trying, and how she's making a Nazi feel too. Like, man.
そこまで短歌を切ってお父様を説得できず、一人で降りてきちゃったりしたら、信頼を得ているなんて二度と言えないかもね。
Oh yeah, true. True, she's also ranking. That's true. That's true. Gotta go back to those ranks.
自信はありませんが、努力はします。
Natsu responded, looking discouraged. However, knowing Kinzo's temperament, she had absolutely no confidence ability to bring him out. Dang. She just wants to win this situation. She's like, okay, you won't let me go. I want you to go. I want you to get embarrassed. I want you to try this and see her and get, man, that's so messed up. Ava was clearly mocking her, confident Natsu wouldn't be able to bring, yup, exactly, but she knows the result. Even so, Natsu would lose face if she gave up, saying it was impossible of letting Ava go instead. Ava's mean-spirited and unreasonable demand made Natsu clench her fist slightly. Yeah, clench that fist and... nah. It wouldn't be worth it. When Genji realized this, he softly spoke over her shoulder. Nails when it comes to creepy characters. I mean, I only know of her voice from Takano and Ava. I'm not sure what other roles she's had in other anime off the top of my head. Which I'm going to look it up after this. Oh, what do you have to say, Genji? What's up? Oh, what is that? What are you giving her? A key? Ooh, go into the study. It was the key to Kinzo's study. The study had an auto lock and couldn't be unlocked as long as Kinzo forbade entrance. However, since Genji was especially trusted by Kinzo, he was allowed to carry a key to that door.
でもこの鍵を使ったら、あなたも咎めを受けるのではありませんか?
親方様は深くお休みになられている時、扉を叩くくらいではお耳に届かないこともございます。
True.
それに親方様にお部屋を出ていただくよう説得するには
True.
扉ぜひお使い。
Thank you, Genji. That's some nice smooth stuff right there. Until now, Natsuki had thought of Genji as a cold servant who wouldn't do anything for her since he worked directly under Kinzo. But he has a heart. Oh wait, no, he's furniture. But it looked like she wouldn't have to alter her understanding of him. She wanted to communicate her gratitude, but by then Genji had already turned his back to her and was walking. Yo, Genji kind of hard to read at times. But as Natsuki watched him go, the words directed her from behind were sneering. What Ava about to say?
じゃあお父様を必ず連れてきてね。
No one asked for your 2 cents. Man.
かわいい嫁の言うことですもの。きっと聞いてくれるわよ。私たちは客人だから。
Yo, she still has to add more?
のんびりくつろがせてもらうわ。
予算買えば口が過ぎるで。
Top of my head, I record voice acting at Magic Night Reinhardt Season 2, but it's pretty easy, right? Yeah, I feel like I've heard it somewhere else. I just can't pinpoint, like, you know what? Whoa, what was that? Oh, my wire. I almost pulled my headphones out. Yeah, I'll check that out after that. I'd like to check right now, but I'm too immersed. Make sure my headphones are okay. Good. Almost broke my whole wire, man. Without answering, Natsuki forcefully spun around her heels. Oh, what did Hideyoshi say? Did he tell her to chill? I hope he did. She was out of control. She was going crazy. But again, that's how she always is. Okay, I like how we're seeing where everyone's at like the same time. After all the excitement in the previous night, there's no way anyone was going to wake up early. George, Aniki, Jessica, and I were snoring loudly in the beds of the cousins' rooms. But Maria, who had gone straight to bed without joining in, was completely awake. She rubbed her sleepy eyes and looked around. She was met with the loud... Really? He does the voice of... Wow. I have to hear his voice again. For a while, Maria... Because I didn't know about some of the voice actors, but I didn't know that. Wow, he does the voice of Kuritsu from Fate. Wow, Fate Zero. For a while, Maria had to think about what happened. After all, she realized that her mother wasn't with her, and she quickly got lonely. Maria left the cousin's room, trying to head to the room that had been arranged for her and her mother. Entered 18 from Dragon Ball Z? Really? I have to hear her talk again. But that now I'm going to picture in my head when I see her speak again. Wow. Oh. Paying no heed to the 3 who were sleeping down, so slammed. Yo, Maria woke up and said, I'm leaving the room. Slam. Jeez. In response, Battler mumbled and rolled over in his sleep, but it wasn't enough to wake him up. Dang. After a while, Maria turned again, opening the door with a lively bang. Where'd she go? The bathroom? When she had left the room, her face had been completely sleepy, but now that she was back, she looked irritated. Good? What? After that, she climbed up on Battler's bed, which happened to be the closest, and started yelling and jumping on it like it was oh, she wants to leave. Man, childish. So she's a child, so... Yo, I'll be mad. Someone wake me up in the middle of sleeping. Yo, Battler, what are you dreaming about? After making sure I was awake, Maria moved over to George Aniki's bed and started jumping on that too. In the manner, the 3 of us were all greeted with an extremely pleasant awakening. Did he sleep in that outfit? Okay. Yo, facts, man. Yo, Jessica was about to be, she was about to lie. She's like, yo, I respect you being calm, George, because I'm about to snap out on her. Jeez, I'm not even awake at 7. What time do I usually wake up at? I mean, I'm usually awake at like 8. That's when I usually wake up at. Never changing their clothes. Chill, please. Please. It's too early for that type of energy. Oh yeah, they don't know that some of them are missing. Maria kept grunting ooh and looked unhappy. Yo, I clicked through that so fast, I was not about to hear that for another minute. She didn't exactly seem lonely because her mother wasn't around. Yeah. It was more like she was irritated and thrown off balance because her mother wasn't where she'd expected. Okay. If we could just tell her where her mother was, that alone would probably calm her down. But unfortunately, we had no way of knowing where Aunt Rosa was, except that she wasn't here. She said, anyways. Yo, just like, anyways, you know, Maria being Maria, let's get breakfast. Let's get some food. Yep, they do. Reassurance. There you go. Well, your parents are. Maria regained her usual composure so completely her earlier transformation now seemed like a lie. How do you go from... I don't understand, man. People just switch up like that. And we got dressed, left the room, and headed for the mansion. How you gonna be freaking out before and now you're all calm? Like, in a minute, less than a minute, that blows my mind. Once more, there was a knocking sound on the study door, but there was no answer. Natsu opened the door. He got the key. He seemed to be sleeping still and could not wake him. I think he's dead. If she went back downstairs and said something, or someone else is in there with him, Ava would probably be amused and triumphant. But even putting aside Ava, it was problematic that Kinzo had stayed away during this entire incident, not even coming down to greet anyone. Okay. Even the head family, especially the head... Oh, I'm repeating what I just read. I wonder if I could convince him myself. Natsu readied herself and used the key that she had borrowed from Genji to open the door. What will we see? Even though she was prepared for the sweet stench, which seemed to eat into one's brain as it poured out the small crack of the door, she couldn't help but grimace. Thinking he might still be sleeping, Natsu enters the room quietly. Why she's not there either? He might be missing too, actually. Oh. It's a lie. He is alive. When she did, Kinzo was already awake and looking down out of the window. I'm afraid to know how he's going to respond, actually. I'm like a little afraid for her. But she's had the worst luck since the start of this. Kinzo spoke with his back still facing her. Yo, why you look like a villain? Yo, he's looking out the window. He's like, how did you get in here? Like, like final boss battle right here. His voice was not harsh, but calm, and Natsu was slightly reassured. Okay, so he was calm for now. However, though he was awake, He couldn't have ignored all that knocking if he was in a good mood. Natsuki wasn't able to relax.
申し訳ございませんでした。
Mm-hmm.
源氏さんにお願いして書斎の鍵をお借りさせていただきました。
Oh. 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 Yes. Yo, he's so like villain outfit. Who's okay? My phone's going off now. People texting me too much. Yo, villain outfit. Yo, he does. He has like the cloak and stuff or cape. Man. And he got the voice too. Man.
話を聞かぬわけにもいくまい。して私に何言おうか。
Oh, man.
はい、もうじき朝食の準備が整いますが、ぜひお父様にも。
Yo, he opened his eyes. He said, "What do you want?" Yo, he quickly switched up.
朝食はここでとる。
Okay.
いつものように運ばせるがいい。
しかしお父様、年に一度の親族会議です。せめてお顔をお見せになってください。
下に降りて。
Yo, he's being calm right now. I don't want to see him mad. Yo, this dude kind of makes me afraid.
私の死後、遺産をどのように食いちぎるのかを決める議論に加われというのか。
Yeah, I don't want to join in that.
バカらしい。そのような話は私を抜きで好きに進めるがいい。そしてそれが親族会議だというなら、私がこの部屋を出るほどの価値はない。
He's speaking the truth though. Like,
私は忙しいのだ。
busy with what?
構うでない。
What do you have to do? His last words carried the threat that any further questions would not be appreciated. Yeah, he's pretty calm and collected right now. He was chilling, enjoying the rain. Let him do his thing. He's busy. Natsu realized that adding any further pleas would finally bring his wrath down upon her. Yo, that's kind of true. Yo, when you think about it, like metaphorically. I mean, that's what it basically is. They're taking a bit of him, his inheritance, which, man, that sucks. Natsumi decided to give up. Bowing silently, she tried to leave the room before Kinzo's spasmodic temper would flare up. As she did, Kinzo spoke to her. Oh, he has something to say. Oh, my neighbor's dog. His voice was so calm and gentle, it felt like it came from an entirely different person. Yo, what's up with the switch up of these characters? This kind of does remind me like Higurashi too, yeah. Busy doing nothing. For real. Yo, dude's just standing in the... He's been in that room for like how many days? Okay, now they're having a conversation. Interesting. He just didn't want to talk about the family's dinner and stuff. Or breakfast and all that stuff. No. Means abandoning your birth family. I ain't too sure about that. So you just cut all ties with your period's family? What? Yo, that's what he's busy with doing. Yo, once she leaves, you about to go start. She truly wasn't exaggerating. Such was the resolve she felt when she applied to the Oshirin family names. Yeah. That's precisely why she was so saddened when her husband didn't treat her like him. Yeah. Man, I mean, dang, I feel like this past few streams I've been really getting to know Ava's character and stuff, which is Sad. If Cross were what?
お前がその夫であったなら、いや、それは言うまい。
Where are you gonna go with that? Yeah. What do you mean by that? Yeah. Natsuki was shocked. If Kinzo's words just were now what they seemed, it would have been more than enough to make up for what she suffered up to that point. Oh, so she's saying that if you were like the one instead, I would have been happy with that. Okay, so he does respect Natsuki, it seems. If that's my understanding, what he's just said. If that's my interpretation of it. Kinzo once again faded away from her. He told her to forget it, but Natsuki couldn't help feeling a warmth in her heart. Dang, after she said all that, he had to say that? Okay, okay. Respect, respect. Yep. Ava. Okay. Okay, that's nice. Without saying any more, Kinzo remained with his back to Natsuki. I was reading in my head. However, Natsuki couldn't help but feel something warm well inside her heart that she hadn't felt since long ago, when she had been just a child. Wow. Natsuki bowed silently to his back and left the room. Excuse me. That was a really nice scene. I'm happy that Natsuki got to go through. As I was saying, I'm happy that Natsuki got it, that little scene with Kinzo happened, you know. A little bright and positive right there. But Ava gotta be over here and kill the mood. Okay. Yo, he's well, not seeing you. Yo, that was a really wholesome scene right there. When Natsuki left the set, she saw Ava climbing the stairs, and their eyes met. Ava was smirking unpleasantly, thinking that Natsuki would leave jointly after failing to convince Kinzo. However, the way Natsuki was now, such a frivolous laugh would not disturb her. That's right, Natsuki, deflect. She was not permitted to wear the family crest on her clothing, but she permitted to wear it on her heart. So she spoke calmly, clearly and confidently, with the dignity of the one who would protect. That's right, man. Yo, tell her. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's right. Oh, our Ooh. Dang, exactly. She wasn't expecting that. You want me to elaborate? Natsuki did not answer. Just as Kinzo had done earlier, she showed Ava her back. Man, that's nice. Showed Ava her back as she headed down. Man, just turned away. Stand there in pity. Ava finally realized she was being made fun of, that something had happened so quickly bolstered Natsuki's confidence. That's nice. Even so, she apparently didn't have the courage to risk Kinzo's wrath. Unable to even knock at the door, she could only click her tongue, make a motion as though scratching at it, and follow after Natsuki. Yep. Oh, she went to follow her? Oh. Exactly. It's the most. That's so. That's. I don't know why she was thinking that. All my homies hate Ava. Man, that fits that meme so well. Ooh. Do you want tea? Dang, yo. Ava couldn't hide her confusion at the complete difference in Natsu's attitude. That's right, Natsu. She was acting so boldly, and while Ava hated to admit it, she had a sense of dignity about her. Unable to find fault with anything, Ava could only follow Natsu back to the parlor. That's right. Shut your mouth. Just follow behind. Man, that was a nice scene. Man, so much is happening in this video. in this, like, wow. When the two joined, whoa, that scene just, yo, I gotta take a sip. Hiyoshi had been joined by the four children. Okay. Is he going to let them know about the missing parents and stuff? Genji, who had been talking to Hiyoshi, reported the current situation when he knows that Natsu had returned. Yo, how's Maria going to respond to this? Knowing that Rosa's not around. Okay. Oh, hey. Okay. The clock read a little past 8. 8 should have been the time to start breakfast. Normally going over that time limit would be a disgrace to the host. Oh boy. I mean, Natsu, you're doing your best. Those other people just disappeared on you when they should have been. First of all, Golda disappeared when he should have been doing his job. So that's not on you, even though you're the host. But I guess it does lie with you. And Shannon's also missing. Interesting. I was also wondering about her too. Oh boy. This is how many people had gone missing by now. That's 6 people, right? Now that the number was this large, it was starting to feel truly unpleasant, as though the people here were the only ones being left out of something interesting. Or maybe you're the fortunate ones. It seemed to reflect the feelings of the children, and Maria in particular. Okay, let's get the scene going. She was indignant, her stomach grumbling, almost as though her mother and the others left her alone off to get something to eat delicious without her. The other children were flipping through the channels on the television, trying to find a program that might interest Maria and cheer her up again. Yep. Nanjo was sitting on the sofa. Nanjo? Who's Nanjo? Wait, hold up. Nanjo, yeah, he was a doctor, yeah. Okay. Nanjo was sitting on the sofa, gazing blissfully at the children while reading a book. It must have been a book about chess. The sound of footsteps came rushing toward them with a pitter-patter. Who's this? There's only one set, so they realized before seeing who belonged to it, probably Canon, not Cross and the rest. Okay. Yeah. Doc Nanjo. She didn't know where they were, but they had to be somewhere they had to be on the island somewhere, hopefully. They hadn't had a thing to eat since the previous night, so their stomachs must be growling by now. Yeah. They probably came plodding back on their own accords before long. By now, Natsu was thoroughly exasperated and started to feel that there was no reason for them to go out of their way and search. Okay, nice. Natsu left the parlor, acting as though the release intention had caused a new surge in her headache. Man, she just can't get a break. Canon tried to call her back, but Natsu left swiftly. Oh, was there more? But say it. Kennen sounded evasive. It looked as though he didn't know where they were, but I spotted something that might be connected to their disappearance. Even Hideyoshi noticed the exchange of words and came over. Nosy as heck. They probably picked up on something strange in Kennen's behavior. Yo, sit back down, man. No, obviously they beat. Oh, how strange how?
様子がおかしいというのはどういう意味だ。
それが何と説明すればいいのか。
Kennen hesitated once more. Do you want us to see it ourselves? His tone wasn't at all what you expect from his usual fearless boy, yeah. Seeing this, Ava and Hideyoshi looked at each other dubiously.
どういうこと？倉庫の中に兄さんたちがいたんじゃないの？
Yo, calm down.
いえ、中はこれから調べます。その鍵を取りに戻ったところなのですが、その。
Oh my gosh, yo, say what was strange. Yeah, I guess you gotta look to see it.
使用人室にあります。すぐに中を確かめましょう。
Okay. Interesting. Kennen dashed off to the servant's room and returned with the key. Genji left the parlor saying that he would go check, but then Ava and Hideyoshi followed after him. What is this something strange about the storehouse that had caused the usually fearless Kennen to hesitate? Yeah, what do you see? Floating objects like Harry Potter or something? Like, it was still pouring outside, but perhaps their curiosity over this something that Kennen couldn't talk about went out. While the children made a big fuss watching television, Kennen and the rest dashed over to the entrance. I like how the children just aren't like as concerned about this at all. For now, the Rose Garden storehouse was a place that housed the various tools used to manage the garden. It was definitely not a pretty building. Because of its appearance, it had been built so that it was hidden in a corner of the Rose Garden. Kennen, Genji, Ava, and Hideyoshi came cutting across the Rose Garden holding umbrellas. They entered a small path just off the Rose Garden, which was normally off limits for those appreciating the garden and only used by its maintaining it. As they dashed down, the storehouse came into view in front of them. What's up? It was quite an old shed, and compared to the flawless perfect beauty of the Rose Garden, it was pretty seedy looking. It was easy to understand why it had been built in such a hard-to-see place. Eva and Hideyoshi arrived at the storehouse long after Kennen and Genji. Yo, got working that cardio.
わしは心臓が爆発しそうや。
こんなところに倉庫なんか建ててたのね。
Oh, what did you see?
何よそれ。
When Ava looked where Kennen was pointing, she was at a loss for words. Noticing this, Hideyoshi also followed Kennen's finger, likewise too shocked to speak. The entrance to the storehouse was a kind of shutter, and there, everyone suddenly realized why Kennen had been unable to find the words to describe what they saw now. On the shutter, which had been completely filthy from exposing to the wind and rain for so long, stuck right on it. Ooh, thingy. the magic circle type thing. I know there's like an actual name for it. Mucus? No, it's not no mucus. Or maybe it was some kind of sticky paint. An indescribably eerie shape, which was drawn on the shutter of some ghastly substance. The rain had caused it to dip like fresh blood leaking from an open wound. It's kind of creepy that the music stopped. Okay, there we go. Wind. No more beating around the bush. Some kind of mark was drawn there. With a ghastly substance that looked like blood. In a shape that seemed to suggest something ominous. Yeah. Yes, the thingy. You know. The circle thingy with the other shapes. 2 circles were drawn there, and inside them was a design that looked like a cross. Okay. The 4 ends of the cross were widely exaggerated and looked like some kind of crest from somewhere around Europe. And the cracks between these shapes written closely packed together. Together were some unfamiliar characters, or possibly symbols. Why was that hard to describe? All you do is just say, yo, there's like some graffiti or something on the wall. Like, it was, I wouldn't be that surprised by it. I'd be a little like creeped out, not knowing who put it there, but. Or magic, yeah, there you go. It wasn't surprising that Hideyoshi would say that about such a ghastly shape, drawn with a deep red dripping substance. How fresh is the paint or whatever this liquid is? There's nothing there. This is that someone did it. Okay. Yeah, 100%. I guess. Yeah, that put something over for now. Genji remembered that he had just recently seen another scribble, and that it had been made with some straight dark red substance of the same color as this. The doorknob, right? That's right, he had set for Anatsu's room, yeah. Huh? Okay. That's nice. Ken squatted in front of the shutter and unlocked it. He then lifted it up with all of his strength. Okay. A boisterous noise resounded, and the eerie shape drawn on the shutter began to get sucked in through the top of the shutter was raised. Yeah. At least for the time being, the ominous drawing disappeared from the direct gaze, and they had all breathed a sigh of relief. Man, that was bright. Thanks to a kids program they came across, Maria was feeling much better. What's she watching? The Backyardigans? You remember the Backyardigans? Anyone see the Backyardigans? Man, that was my favorite show when I was younger. One of my favorite shows. I watched a lot of good. I like children's shows. Battler and Jessica were poking fun at the kids showing at every turn, cracking to get. Yeah. George was enjoying the program Maria from her perspective. Nanjo sounded himself by himself, passed the time by reading quietly. They heard hurried footsteps coming from the hallway. They were the footsteps of a single... Who? She's watching Higurashi. That... Oh, man. Really? That's what... Yo, that's funny. Did that mean it wasn't the group of 4 that I just... Yeah, who is this? Yeah, really child-friendly, yeah. Higurashi. Oh, it's Genji, okay. But wasn't he just at the... Okay. He'd probably come dashing from outside of the mansion. His shoulders were soaking wet. Okay, that makes sense. When Genji noticed that Nanjo looked at him, he gave a small silent bow and quickly approached him. Nanjo-sensei. Okay. Genji whispered something to Nanjo's ear. Nanjo went pale. He rose from the sofa, trying to not be noticed by the children who were still engrossed by the TV, and soothed and rapidly left the parlor, muffling their footsteps. Just as they're about to exit the parlor, ooh, yo, Natsuki is, man, she can't catch a break in this. Every single time something pops up, I just feel so bad. They came across Natsuki, who was pushing a serving cart load of tea. Genji whispered something to Natsuki, and Natsuki went pale too, in an apparent shock. Then leaving the serving cart where it was, the three of them so she just left that and said, this is more important. Or did something else happen? George noticed them running down the rose garden through the window. George, come on, man. Why you gotta say that? You're gonna make them all curious. Yeah. When Jessica and Maria saw that Ava, Hideyoshi, and Nanjo were no longer in the seats, and the serving car had been abandoned in the entrance to the parlor, they realized something was the matter. Maybe. Wow. For some reason, what Battler said sounded extremely indiscreet. But they couldn't deny that they were a little insecure and concerned after seeing... I mean, they'd be concerned. It makes sense. Move down my mic. Oh, wait, yo. If Maria sees that, Maria about to be like, Beatrice is here, witch or something. Jessica's uneasy words spoke for all of them, and also concerned for the parents. Considering that they already know that the parents aren't around, so... Hey, you gonna continue watching Higurashi? Okay. So she's going to be the only person in this house. No, Kinzo's upstairs and Kumasawa... Kuma? That's Kumasawa or wait, what's her name? I want to say it right. Kumasawa, yeah. So it's her and Kumasawa down here. Begins. By the time the kids made outside, the adults were no longer in sight. But Jessica seemed to have a pretty good idea where they'd gone, judging by the direction they'd been running. Yep. Following Jessica, we ran through the rain-soaked rose garden. The wind seemed to suddenly get stronger. The malicious sound of thunder began to ring out, like it had been the previous night. Okay. It felt like an eerie something had surrounded the island and was trying to stop from moving forward. Yeah. Who knows? Just as Jessica had said, they began to see the storehouse in front of them. They could also see the adults there. The shutter to the storehouse was open, so they couldn't see the thing yet. The several adults looked as if they were searching for something. For some reason, only Natsuki was outside the storehouse. Without even holding an umbrella, she looked like she was hanging her head, and her back was facing them. There's Genji, Nanjo, and Natsu, who had just left the mansion. The ones who left earlier, Kanen, Ava, and Hideyoshi, were also there, making for a small crowd of people. But there was absolutely no bustle of activity. When Natsu realized that the children were approaching, a terrible expression rose to her face, and she ran to them at them with her arms spread wide. Oh, she said, "No." Ooh. Yo, y'all go back. Yo, is he saying that? But despite that, no. Because of that, the kids saw this scene Natsu was trying to keep them away from. Inside the storehouse, with the shutter wide open, a faint fluorescent light shone down. And right there was... Yo, that scream was haunting. What happened? Aliens? Yo, this sound like sound. Jessica's piercing shriek rang out. But there was... Yeah! This music! Okay, but that was just because Jessica's scream was the loudest. The same thing spilled out of Battler and George's mouths as well. Ava spread her arms, just like Natsu, roaring, thinking, oh no! Oh no! Who's in there? George, take everyone. Oh snap! I'm getting chills, man. When Natsu spread her arms, I thought she was trying to prevent us from advancing any further. But that wasn't why Ava was spreading her arms right now. She was trying to stop us kids from seeing that terrible scene. It was her mother's heart trying to protect the eyes of us children by blocking the view of the terrible scene by at least I want to see. I see this kind of cheap scene too. In manga, TV, anime, and movies, I've seen it over and over again. This was just seeing something disappear in real life. I'd seen plenty of times before in some of those more sensational movies, right? That all alone shouldn't. But that suit. Oh no, it's Rudolph, man. Oh man, he did say it. I get it. Then that's Uncle. Oh no! All of them. Whoa! I don't know what that means, doctor. 6 hours have passed since the death. Yo, Golden Slaughter and a bang. This is a banger, yo. It's called Golden. That's a nice name for this song. Dang. You're trying your best, man. Natsu caught Jessica in her arms, and Ava caught George Aniki. So I was the only one who couldn't approach the scene. Yo! Oh yeah, Maria's back at the house. Luckily she didn't come. Oh my gosh. If only there had been someone there to catch on. Dang, but it's his parents, man. Both of them. Burn into his eyes? Man. No, that's not it. It isn't that there's no one to catch on to me. The people who should catch me, they're right there, aren't they? Just as Jessica did, it did look like a storehouse for gardening tools. A lawnmower with extra blades, a grass sickle, and a hammer. Some carpentry tools, just as we saw, piled up, potted plants, bag fertilizer, and all this stuff. The corpses of several people had been laid. Dang. No, had been tossed in there. I could tell by their clothes. That old guy and Kiri-san, Uncle Cross, yup. Rigor mortis means their bodies have gone stiff. Okay. Are there still more of them? How many people died? Oh no, Shannon there too? You're kidding me, right? I can't count them in one hand. Dang it. I didn't know whether it had been the gardening tools, which was used. Brutal, man. Or whether some horrible tool. Dang. One of the bodies. Oh, man. What happened? It was more like their face said, oh, man. This is brutal. Just reading it, just, man. They explained that too well. Their faces were smashed, forced into expression that no. Oh man, I couldn't tell where their eyes or their noses were, but I could find their mouths because they were gaping wide. But their front teeth were missing. Even the cheeks that should have covered the. Oh man, that trendy makeup you always spend so much time on, even though your man isn't doing a thing now.
てめえは絶対地獄行きだとは思ってたぜ。でもよ、ここまでじゃねえだろ。ここまでひでえ目に遭わされるほどの悪党じゃなかっただろうがよ。だからキリサもさ、
Yep, man.
こんな男と付き合うのはやめろって言ってあんたまで。
No, yo, facts, yo. If they visually showed that, man.
そこまでの目に遭わされる理由は何もねえじゃねえかよ。顔がね。
No faces. I wish there were visuals. Man. This is terrible.
これ以上見てはいかん。こんな姿をお父さんもお母さんもあんたに見せたいわけがない。
100%. I could imagine. Oh yeah, but this is the manga. You could, jeez. Man, someone get Balor out of there. He can't. He needs to get out of this area. Man, yeah, that's the last thing. Balor is really. I mean, it makes sense why he's. Yeah, this is messed up. Yo, Balor, stop talking, man. Man. Ooh. Jessica filled her ears with the sound of her own screaming and trying to shut out my reckless words. Yeah, yo, Balor, stop, man. I understand, man, but you gotta chill a little bit. Man. Yeah. Disregarding age and appearance, I fell to my knees, clinging to Aniki's waist, sobbing. It was as if I was crying on behalf of everyone there. Representing the feeling of everyone there, I screamed over and over. Huh.
お父さん、倒れているのは、クラウスおじさん、ルドルフおじさん、
Cross, Rudolph, Kiri, and Aunt Rosa and Goda. Okay, so Shannon's not there. Okay. Oh no, no, oh no, no, just them, right? Oh no. Ah. Ah, no. Oh boy. Man. The body Hideyoshi was looking down on now happened to be hidden among the shadows in that mountain range of objects. In a blind spot to George, so George couldn't tell whose body it was. So George cursed himself. He cursed at the fact his worst guesses always turned out to be right.
お父さんの足元に倒れているのはシャノンなんだね。
Dang.
ああ、シャノンちゃんや。
Yep, they did the sound effect. Man, this is Dang, it's so much. Man, George felt completely silent. He shook slightly, his lower lip trembling. Normally, he would have wanted to run to his beloved's body, screaming and crying. However, before rushing hurried, he worked to keep up his composure and asked his father. Yeah, because he wants to remember as... Yo, this music is making me... Yo. Higurashi deeply understood the meaning of those words, so he couldn't give George an immediate answer. Or rather, he felt that silence was the only sincere and loving response he could give George right now. When George asked Shannon what's the same, he meant to ask whether her corpse was in the same condition as others or not. Since Hideyoshi hadn't denied it, it meant her corpse was in the same brutal state. Dang. Last conversation they had, man. My face flies. It's not the time. Yup, last night when he... Dang. Can't even get the words out. After the end of the ring, she hesitated, even though she must have already made up her mind. Yep. Then she looked bashful, and she ran away because she was embarrassed to let him see her face looking like that. That's an expression that was revived in George's mind. Yep. Yoshi looked down upon Shannon's body lying at his feet. Just like the other bodies, it was in such a horrible state that it wouldn't make anyone want to cover their eyes. Don't even describe it, man. Right? I said not to describe it. Okay, half her face was... Yeah. It remained blood-soaked, half her... Dang. Without thinking, Hideyoshi slapped his hands over his eyes. How brutal. If her face was going to be crushed anyways, and only all of it had been crushed, he might have been able to temporarily distract George from his pain by making a pathetic suggestion that it was someone else wearing Shannon's clothes. Dang. But half of her face had been left untouched. It caused the body so much humiliation, while still proving beyond doubt that the body was Shannon's and no one else's. How inhumane. How brutish. And there, then Canon also, man. They're trying his best to burn the image of that remaining half of Shannon's expression into his eyes as she lay at Hideyoshi's feet was Canon. Canon was not crying. Tears had risen to his eyes, but they did not drip down. But that didn't mean he wasn't feeling as much sadness as everyone else. Losing Shannon, who had lived with him in the same orphanage, whom he had loved as a sister, grew up together in a way, must have been the same as losing a blood relative. Yep.
Georgie, Shannon-chan wa kitto arigatou yutteru. Omae ni hatsukashii tokoro o miraretou nakatta n ya. Kitto omae ga taete kureta koto kansha shitoru de. Wakatteru yo, Tousan.
George leaned against the wall of the storehouse, crouching down limply. Oh, man. Hideyoshi crouched down. As he did, Canon slightly pointed to one of Shannon's hand.
ヤのクズダイヤとちゃう。なかなかの値打ちもんや。
それはどっちの手のどの指にあるのかな。
と左手の薬指や。そっか、シャノンちゃん。
Yep.
よくしとったんか。
ジョージ、あなたまさか。
エヴァ、今はそんなん関係ない。
Yeah, what the heck? Yo, I'm so done with Ava, man. I'm done. At this point, 100% done.
シャノンちゃんは男に将来を約束されとったんや。
I liked how the music stopped for me right there. That ticked me off right there.
一生を幸せにしちゃると男に言う。そ
Yeah.
れがは問題とちゃうで。男にそこまで
Exactly, man. Yo, that just made me so mad.
女の本会やないか。いつこの指輪をもらったんかは知らん。誰が渡したかも知らん。だが、それでもシャノンちゃんは指輪をもらえたんや。そして、それを受け入れ、左の薬指に通したんや。指輪を送った男もきっと喜んだんとちゃうか。
To most of the people there, Hideyoshi was suddenly disturbed by the extraordinary situation and was blurting out nonsense. However, someone who knew of George and Shannon's true relationship would understand the full meaning of those words. George stood up. The traces of tears still streaked his face. An expression had returned to his usual calm one.
バトラ君、ジェシカちゃん、これ以上僕たちがここにいると大人の邪魔になる。
Yep.
そうだな。
Jessica sniffled once, showing her face to her mother, who had been holding her for the whole time, to let her know that she was okay now. When she faced George again, once again had her usual expression, though she couldn't smile.
バトラ、しっかり。
Bowler kept on crouching in front of his parents' bodies.
すまねえな。がっつり泣いたら落ち着いたぜ。親父の野郎。普段はクソクソ言ってるくせに、ちょっと死んじまったくらいでピーピー泣くんじゃねえぜって。言ってやがれ。仕方ねえだろ。親が死んだら泣くように。
Yo, I got like no words right now. Like, Ballard's face was still bright red from the tears, but he had at least recovered enough to fake smile, if only a bitter one. Yo, facts. Yo, dude couldn't, like... Took him a while to, like, calm down and stuff. Yeah, Kanan, you should leave too, man. Now she had been standing under the rain this whole time and able to take a step into the storehouse. Maybe she had her own way of grieving, different from Battler's. Realizing that she had to take on the role of responsibility now that her husband was dead, she gave Kanan those orders. Kanan rose slightly and turned to face me. His face was purely white, almost as though his own heart had died along with Shannon. Yep, and there was no life in his expression. In an ordinary day, if he had been told to guide the children on the beautiful rose garden, Kanan might have led the way. But right now, there was no distinction between Kanan and the children. They were now just kids about the same age, suffering the pain of losing those close to them. After making sure that the children were leaving, Natsuki started giving orders to Genji. What is she gonna tell him? To what? Yup, facts. Okay, nice, okay. When she heard that, Natsuki remembered. That's right, the phones were out today, weren't they? However, they also had the radio since they couldn't necessarily rely on phones all the time while living in an isolated island. At any rate, they should start by contacting the police and receiving their instructions. Everything else could wait. How is Kinzo going to respond to all this, unless he already knew? I don't think he knew, though. Genji picked up several dried up towels from inside the stores. Yeah. When Ava stopped him with a shrill voice.
ちょっとちょっとお待ちなさいよ。
What do you want? Man.
ここは犯行現場なんでしょ。なら変に手を加えちゃダメよ。私たちは混乱してて現場に土足で踏み入っちゃったけど、それはきっと警察の捜査の邪魔になったわよ。
I don't know. I don't know. I would like to cover their faces at the very least, but yo, King be crying. Yeah, Kinzo will probably be doing that. Ava's got a point. Yeah, I don't say that makes sense. I mean, yeah, because if you cover, that's true. That's true. Ava was right. Yeah. Even so, she glared at Ava as though accusing or refusing to do those. Yeah. I mean, I know you want to do that, but still, for the sake of figuring out what happened. Dang. The simple kindness of covering their faces. However, Ava spoke both calmly and correctly. Okay. She didn't say it in a snarky voice, because if she said it that, this horrible situation definitely wasn't an accident. It was a crime. Someone had killed them. It was a murder case. So they needed to be careful to avoid disturbing the site any further. Yep, true. They had to do what little they could to aid the police, preserving the clues. Yep, detectable culprit, yeah.
私も警察が来るまで、ここは手をつけずにしておくべきです。
奥様、いかがなさいますか。
そうですね。わかりました。ここを閉ざしなさい。それから念のため。ここに別の施錠をするように。
別の施錠？
Yeah, what?
ここに来た時、シャッターの鍵は閉じていました。ということは、シャッターの鍵を使い、犯人が施錠したということ。
確かに通りや。
So someone had to have had the key. Who has access to the key?
犯人の指紋が残ってるんとちゃうんか。
Ooh.
警察に証拠として提出する価値はあるでしょうけど、カノン君が普通に持ってここを開けるのに使用しちゃったわ。多分カノン君の指紋も付着して
That's not looking good.
そしてその鍵はさっき源氏さんに手渡され、源氏さんもすで
Some
に
people touch it with their hands.
大した証拠にはなりそうにないわね。
それは不用心でした。申し訳ございません。
源氏さん、この倉庫の鍵は他にもあるんか？
Yeah, that's a good question.
いいえ。
No,
一つだけです。
only that one. It seems that someone had to have grabbed that one, or anyone who had that key is a suspect or something.
犯人はその鍵を使用品室から持ち、そして律儀に元の場所に戻したちゅうことになるな。
Hey. Don't start pointing fingers yet. Yo. Okay. So, key is right here. Okay, I don't even know what this image is. What? This is where everyone was. This is where the shed is, and okay. Why would they go all the trouble? Yeah, why would they return the key? No, if you think about it even more deeply, there are some points that are even more bizarre. When a criminal hides a body, they're usually trying to delay the point at which it will be found, so they can use it at the time to escape. The 6 weren't necessarily killed there, but it was reasonable to assume that they were all killed somewhere on this island, carried to the storehouse, and hidden. That could also be a possibility. But then you'd see a trail of blood, even though it's raining a lot. I don't know. And yet the eerie magic circle scribbled on the storehouse shutter. Yeah, what was up with that? Had eloquently indicated the location of... Yeah, it would have been like... Yeah, it stood out. This is that they wanted someone to see that. Why? Yeah, people missing. In that situation, someone had made an obvious piece of graffiti and... Yep. Almost as though they wanted the corpse... Yeah, like they wanted to be discovered.
とにかく一度は犯人が開け閉めをして
Yeah, let's just close the thing and get out of here. Y'all want to stay in there?
犯人の手からもこの場所を保護する意味で
Yeah, they should put a new lock on it, yeah.
いい案だと思います。私も賛成です。
Genji fished around inside the storehouse and then sealed the brand new padlock that had been inside a small box.
次はどうなさいますか？
私が持ちましょう。責任を持って警察に手渡します。
Natsui took the key to the padlock from Genji's hand. After that, they all exited and lowered the shutter. And so the corpses were once again sealed behind that shutter, which is still covered by the creepy magic circle. Genji crouched down in front of the shutter and fastened the new padlock. Shutters often have a place in front where you could attach your own lock, in addition to the main lock of the shutter. This was one of those types. In the midst of the roar of the thunder and pouring rain, the storehouse stood there ominously. With its closed shutters still covered in blood, in a blood-like creepy substance, it swallowed up the bodies of the 6. To Natsui, putting the new lock wasn't mainly to preserve the scene for the police. She might have felt like she wanted to shut that mouth for all eternity? What? To prevent that eerie beast from swallowing up any more victims. Oh, okay.
さあ行きましょう、南條先生。源氏は急いで警察に連絡を。
戻りましたらすぐに連絡し。
I'd be too afraid to be by myself at this point. Everyone, I gotta at least have one person with me. The adults left the storehouse. The ghastly magic circle drawn on the shutter kept the 6 bodies in his throat, looming eerily as the lightning occasionally lit it up. That was at 7:30, so 15 minutes had passed. Okay, I'm about to end it because okay, I'm going to end it right here because I want to get to the second part of this with Maria's reaction and stuff to everything. Dang, this video started off. I was hype as heck, energetic, and this got so I did not expect all that to go down this episode. Title back, yeah. Oh man, take off my headphones. Ears and stuff. Yo, I have no words for this. Yo, thanks for joining the stream. This escalated so quickly. A lot did happen. A lot of emotions in this episode. Jeez. I say episode in this one, but yeah, what do I have to say? Thank you all for checking out the stream. Oh yeah, announcements. That's something let me say. I will not be streaming this next Thursday. Instead, I'll be streaming this next Tuesday. Description changes, by the way. Okay, I'll check that out for next time. I meant to check that out. Man, I heard the sound. But yeah, I'll be streaming this next Tuesday because next Thursday I'll be out of town. So yeah, I'll be streaming this next Tuesday, and I'll also be streaming this the following Tuesday as well because, you know, then the next first Thursday after that will be Thanksgiving and all that stuff. And then after that week, I'll be streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays. So yeah, I'll be streaming this back on Tuesday. Yeah, glad you enjoyed the stream. Thank you for tuning in and all that stuff. So yeah, so I'll be streaming this next Tuesday, not next Thursday, since I'll be out of town next Thursday. Yeah. So, I'll be here. I'm going to a convention next weekend. So yeah, I'm gonna be out of town for that. But yeah, hope to see you guys on this weekend, this Saturday. Check out Higurashi. Feel free to join for that stream as usual. Tomorrow I'll also have a video up for like some stream highlights from episodes 1 through 4 of Higurashi and maybe episodes 5 through 8. It took a while for me to edit that. So yeah, I should have that up tomorrow. And yeah, Saturday, check out Higurashi stream over on Twitch. Links in the description for that. So Okay, yeah. I mean, I usually stream it at 7 o'clock, always at that time. But yeah, thanks, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, next weekend I'll be out of town, so I'll be streaming them. But yeah, I'll be Tuesday, all that stuff. So yeah, it's getting really good. It's getting really good. So looking forward to seeing what more will come because yo, this is nice. But yeah, anyways, enjoy yourselves, enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend. If I don't see you on Saturday, and yeah, enjoy yourselves and all that stuff. Thanks for joining the stream again, and yeah, that's all I have to say really. So, but I'm about to eat some food. So see y'all later. Peace. Where's my thing at? There it is.